Man, is camera on? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Came to talk to y'all about something and kind of get something off my chest to help a lot of people out as well. Of course, we're doing this taping, and I had a whole script to what I was gonna say, but I guess I'm gonna let it come from inside. So I'm Solomon. Most of you guys know me as Solo, and to the ones I grew up with, y'all know me as Boogie. But I've been gone for a while, and I came back about 3 months ago. So by the time this video is over, you'll understand what direction I'm headed to and why exactly I'm doing this. And since I found a sense of peace, a sense of happiness, a sense of purpose in the storm that I overcame, I also had to find a sense of reality and truth within myself to go to the next step. But within going through that, and of course, towards the end of everything, you kind of realize that there's a purpose for every storm that you go through. Some of those purposes, sometimes we never get a chance to find out, but thank God I got a chance to find out about mine. So I recently came home from being incarcerated at Alexandria at Virginia Department of Corrections for involuntary manslaughter and obstruction of justice. And I got sentenced to 10 years and all suspended for 17 months. And that was all God's doing. And I know there's a typical story of every man that goes behind bars comes home in different ways. But I honestly tell you, I came home a different person because I was close to being broken. But faith and hope kind of took me through it. So as you guys know, Corona is something that hit last year. So imagine being incarcerated around that time, which means you're basically in for 23 hours, you out for 1. 23 hours with yourself in a cell, let alone that, 12 hours with yourself in a cell is something extremely difficult to deal with. So I started writing about things, and I had to find out things about myself. And I wish I could tell you this is an all the way done story where at the end, how all these pastors and great preachers tell us that things come out and it's bright and shiny at the end. It's peaceful, but nobody ever tells you about the storm while they're going through it. You always hear about it when it's over. So this is my storm. This is my story. And again, when this video is over, you'll understand why I'm doing this. So while being locked up, I had to come to reality about a lot of things that put me to this. There was a lot of things that I had inside of me, so I really felt as though I was Payne's personal lab to things. See, most of you might not know this, but in my 20s, I buried my 5-year-old daughter. Probably grieved 5 minutes out the whole situation. After that, my dad passed away in my arms. Nothing special for me. I mean, everybody else's father passed away at some point. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, caught a bullet in my leg. Again, nothing special for me, right? But over time, as time goes on, it's a lot of pain that happens in our lives, and sometimes we gotta take responsibility for those things. But not dealing with them kind of crashes down on you. But aside from life's unlucky things that have happened to me, there was a lot of things that I was doing on my own. There was a lot of things that I knew about myself, and I realized that being locked up. A lot of things that I've done wrong, a lot of people that I've done wrong, a lot of things that I know about myself. We all have our own dirtiness. We all have our own issues. And sometimes those things pull us back. More than what people label us is the labels that we hold to ourselves that make us feel a kind of way. And without sidetracking, I could tell you, with my friends that I grew up with, we had a word. So if you ask 50 people about me, man, 25 would tell you how great I am, and 25 would tell you I'm a finagler, I'm a cutthroat guy when it comes to work, and I have no kind of what's the cool word these days? No kind of chill. You know, kind of hot-tempered, and I've earned all those things. But more than that, they stuck to me because of the way I walked, the way I moved. I never cared about myself. I never cared about tomorrow. I put myself in relationships that I knew would never go nowhere. And to be honest with you, it's because my self-esteem and my respect for myself was low because of everything that's happened to me. There's been points in times where I'd be lying to you if I'm telling you everything right now that life wasn't just worth living, especially after burying my daughter. So being locked up in a cell for 23 hours and having all these pains that you've accumulated over the years, they come at you hard. You feel guilt. My daughter died June 27th of 2005 to a car accident. I was supposed to pick her up the day before and I went to see her, but I never took her home. If so many of us knew what would happen to our loved ones tomorrow, we'd do a lot of things differently. But the best way that I knew how to grieve after this happened was never give myself any chance to heal, never give myself any chance to even comprehend what happened, that it wasn't my fault. So every year on her birthday and every year around the time she passed away, you see me isolating myself or drinking or doing anything and everything not to have a moment to myself. Even around her funeral, to be honest with you, I was trying to pick everybody else's pieces up. Picked up my daughter pieces, picked up her mother pieces, picked up the pieces of anybody that allowed me to help them except me. Because I didn't think it was worth me living, to be honest with you. So that happens, and a couple of years later, both my daughter's mom passes away. You know, it's one thing after the other, one storm after the other, and people always say, damn, you strong to go through this. It ain't that, I just didn't have a choice. You know, life can come at you with so many different angles sometimes, man, and before you know it, you put your trust in people, you put your happiness in events. You start living moment to moment. You start caring about what's happening this week or spring break or summertime because that's all you can see yourself at. So without saying too much else about everything, I started really caring about what other people thought about me because I know what I thought about myself wasn't even worth it. And I say this to say because there's a lot of people that's going through this, but nobody ever talks about it. Depression came in. Anxiety followed by right after that. You know, and that's not a good feeling, man. Depression and anxiety were playing 1-2 punches on me. And I didn't have no choice but to deal with it because the other choice was to go to a counselor, and trust me, when you're in prison, that's not something you want to do. You either get put on medication or you get moved to a different ward. But for 3 months from June 1st to August 8th, I cried every night. You know, if you guys know me, I'm a hell of a talker, and I've always got myself into better situations. So being locked up, I worked into the workforce, which was the freest you can be in a penitentiary, to be honest with you, or in a jail. And I was working in laundry. And in laundry, that was the only place that had a bathroom with a porcelain toilet and the door closes. Working the overnight shift, there's a lot of things that happened to me while I was in there, but there was a lot of people that were hurting me on the outside too. And 3 months, man, I didn't miss a day. I was in that bathroom, curled up in the fetus position, crying. If I wasn't crying, I was hitting these boxes and then turning them around so the deputies wouldn't see them when they came pick me up. I was angry. I remember telling God, you're gonna have to kill me before I give my hand to the devil. I wish I said that in a biblical way, but I didn't. It was out of anger. I didn't know how I'd do the next day. I didn't know how I was gonna do the remaining 6 months of my sentence because it just hit me. You ever been in a dark place where you get angry when you open your eyes in the morning? You ever been in a situation where nothing matters? I'm calling home, calling my friends. Nobody could take me out of the slump that I was in. Because the people that I wanted to take me out of the slump that I was in no longer thought I was relevant for them to do it. And the person and the God that I was supposed to pray for, I'm blaming for everything that happened to me. You a mighty God, you big man, why you not helping me? But not realizing the changes that I had to make. So I'm fast tracking this just so you guys can understand that on August 4th, it was a Tuesday, Monday, August 4th was a Monday or a Tuesday. And I remember calling my cousin and I said, hey, I can't do this. And he's like, what's going on? I said, man, I can't do this. And he's like, what you need? What you need? You know, we gonna help you. Hung up the phone. And I went upstairs and I know this is gonna sound funny to you guys, but whoever's going through this, try it. Got on my knees and I asked that man to help me. And I said, God, I don't know what your purpose is for me. I couldn't even see myself walking out this place, but I said, heal me. I said, help me for tonight. I don't want to go to work. Help me not cry tonight. Help me not go into that bathroom. Help me just not shed a tear tonight. Help me make it through the night. That's all I want. Help me. I'm like, I give myself to you. I won't fight. I won't slither. I won't tussle. Fix me. Show me the ways. I didn't cry that night. I took my Bible with me. That's just how I felt I could tackle things. I think I read Psalms from 1 to 10 that night. It wasn't that many, but it helped me. I didn't cry that night, to be honest with you. Then the next day came, I didn't cry. Before you know it, a week and a half, 2 weeks had went. And I'm back at laundry again, working, and I'm like, okay, I'm better. I'm like, what do I need to do? And I'm watching TBN. I didn't even know the TBN channel existed until I was locked up. I was flipping through the thing, and I'm watching TBN, and Steve Furtick comes up about forgiveness. And it's that the hardest thing to do is forgive somebody. It's easier for somebody to hit you than to forgive somebody. I'm like, man, what's this guy talking about? I'm being honest with you. So I'm going and I'm listening, and I go back to my room. I say my prayers every morning, every night. I never stop saying my prayers, to be honest with you. Ever since I was a kid, my friends could tell you that. So I'm like, God, show me the way. You've helped me stop crying for about 2 weeks. Show me the way. What else do I need to do to get this inner peace? I'm angry inside. Show me the way. And through different things, and this is what worked for me. But I'm telling you guys this so at the end you can understand where hope leads you. And I'm gonna say this to tell you that whatever you believe in, I'm not here to impose that on you. But I'm just here to tell you that don't never give up hope. And if you get on your knees and pray to God, I promise you, your morning will come. They say weeping endures for the night and joy comes in the morning. My morning came on January 4th of 2021. That's when I came out. Yours might come tomorrow. Yours might come 3 months from now. But I got my answer in the form of a prayers, not for me to forgive people at first, but I had to call and forgive people. I had to call and ask people for forgiveness because I knew myself. And sometimes we know ourselves so much. They say hurt people hurt other people. Well, sometimes hurt people hurt themselves more than they hurt other people. I had to call the people that I've hurt in my life. And part of this is not only helping me, but I'm trying to help you guys to see that where it reached. One of the first people that I called was the mother of my son. And it's not going into details about it, but I knew the things that I had done wrong in a 7-year relationship. And here she was still taking care of our son. But I knew what I had faulted. And this isn't a public apology or anything of that nature. But I had to do what was right. I had to release myself from the demons that was holding me back. And one of the ways to beat that was to call and ask for forgiveness. But it took me a while to do it. I was talking to God, you want me to call her and ask for forgiveness? She's gonna go in on me. You want me to say what? And that's what I'm telling you. I'm talking to myself. I'm pacing back and forth from my cell all the way to the corner because they used to let us walk out. So I remember calling her and I said, hey, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry for everything I did. And it was probably one of the hardest things I did before the next thing, of course. But I had to call her and tell her I apologize. Not for the things that happened in the relationships, but the things that I didn't do that I was supposed to do. The wrong that I was doing her. And the funniest thing is, she just said, I forgive you. She said, I waited so long to hear this. She said, I forgive you. And to this day, it kind of catches me, and I was like, wow. So this is what it is. So I hung up the phone, went upstairs, I was smiling, and got on my knees. I said, okay. I said, yeah, God. I said, you know, I'm telling you, I talked to God in my own way. I said, yeah, I did it. I said, I feel good. But I keep hearing, oh, you're not done. You gotta call other people. And I'm like, hold up, I just did this. Now you want me to call this? And it's true. People say God talks to them, or a spirit. It could be your inner voice. I don't know. It could be your conscience. Look, I don't know who or what talks to you. I choose to think it's God talking to my spirit, to be honest with you. So I'm like, all right, what I gotta do? Call everybody you feel that you did wrong. And I'm like, whoa, that's a long list. Yeah, it's a pretty long list, I'll tell y'all. So I called my cousin DeWitt, called my brother Snoop, I called my sisters. And it's funny because we hurt the people that are so close to us and they care about us, as opposed to people that we just met. So it was a long list. Called both my sisters, called my cousin, called my friends that apologized for things that they didn't even know about. And all of them took it well. And they helped me in my walk. But there were still people that when I came home I had to deal with. I'm like, okay, now I've done it. Now he's like, you gotta forgive yourself. And this part is what was hard. Because I had to verbalize it. I had to sit there and tell my dad I'm sorry. But I was too busy fighting on the streets that I couldn't hear his voice before he passed away. I had to tell my daughter I'm sorry. I had to tell my aunt I'm sorry for not being around for her funeral. And verbalizing those things broke me down for 2 days, but I let it out. See, sometimes we get put in a dark place so we can grow. Sometimes we don't listen when we're on the streets or when we're around our environment. I've learned that with myself. Public perception mattered way more to me than doing the right thing or listening to what my family was saying. And I know where it landed me. But when this case happened, and I was out on probation, on pretrial services, I had people telling me go to Canada. I had people telling me go back to Ethiopia. But one thing, I stuck to my principles. I got parents. I got a mom that loves me. I got sisters. But more than that, I got my daughter and my son, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't run. So I left it in God's hands. Even if I got sentenced to 10 years, that means I get to sit down here and I get to see my kids, even if it's through a window. But God showed his mercy on me. That's how much time he needed to fix me. But the guilt of knowing that somebody else passed away in my hands was something that I could never, ever shed. Mr. Dale Edwards, I say his name every time. So when I walk representing him and representing myself. It's a hard thing to live with. But it's also harder to overcome it. It's also harder to forgive yourself. But I needed God to help me, and I need him to replant me. I needed him to show me the way to make me a better person. Faith and hope and prayer was something that was given to me through the Bible. Faith, hope, and prayer is something that's free, that's given to all of us. But work came from me. I had to make that decision. And I'm telling y'all right now, I promised myself when I made it home that I was going to make this video. And my new purpose was to motivate people. And I could unapologetically tell you that I'm going to keep doing this. I'm releasing myself from the hold that I allowed people to have over me. And it was nobody's fault but mine. Because every situation, there was one person that was in it. Every circumstances that I put myself in, there was one person that was in it. Every good thing that happened, there was one person that was in it. And that common person was me. Sounds good, but it's hard when you deal with it. Coming home wasn't easy. There's people around me that's waiting for the shoe to drop. It's gonna be waiting for a long time because I'm walking this walk to live as righteous as I can for myself. And I've been saying this to everybody that's around me. Doesn't mean you're not gonna see me enjoying myself at a lounge or having fun somewhere. It means I'm trying to live to whatever biblical way that I can. I'm trying to do right. The common things of being honest, being truthful, having integrity, having morals, but at the same time living as right as I can. Whatever that means to me. So as time goes on, man, I can tell you a whole story about how it ended. But what I can tell you is faith was the light that helped me come through my storm. Hope was the vessel that helped me go through my seas. Prayer was the navigator that showed me the light. And it left me thirsty for more. There's a lot of you out there going through issues. And I'm telling you, I went through depression. I went through anxiety. I went through thoughts of not wanting to be in this world no more. But God helped me make it. There's a lot of you out here that's hurt, whether it's through a marriage. I went through that. I've lost mine when I was incarcerated. One of the difficult things to do is having a feeling of rejection, having somebody not want you, especially at your most desperate moment, especially when you put everything into that person. There's people out here that's lost their kids. There's people out here that's lost their wives to corona and husbands to corona. You cooped up in the house. Don't feel like you out there by yourself. I don't have the answers to everything, man, but you can reach out to me. I'm starting over at 40. Well, I'm about to be over 40, but I'm starting over at 40. If most of you guys know me, man, I've lived my best life in my 20s. I've traveled places in my 20s and my 30s. People probably won't go for their whole life. But I'm man enough to tell you, at 41, I came home and living with my mother and my sisters at times. Thanks to friends, I started working at a convenience store, $10 an hour. And now I'm working for 1013 Enterprises and my future is bright. I know I'm gonna make it. I don't have no choice. I wasn't made to be broken. And I'm telling you, reach out to me, I'll help you. My funds ain't that much, but whatever I got, we can share, but I'll definitely talk to you. Listen, man, I know everybody's story is different. I don't know how mine is gonna end, but this is what I'm gonna tell you. Forgive those that's hurt you. It could be a difficult thing to do. Maybe forgive them after you go through the process. Everybody has their own process they go through, but let the end be forgiveness. Ask for forgiveness for those that you've hurt, because we each have our own dirty laundry inside us that we know that we might have to take to our grave. Because, yo, I couldn't see myself in the mirror. I will see everything else, but I could never see my eyes because I knew myself. I'm putting myself out here right now. Be positive comments, could be negative comments. And with all due respect, I really don't care, because I'm doing something that I believe in, and I'm doing something that God has put in my spirit. And I'm telling you that all of us have greatness in us. For every positive thing, I could tell you there's a negative thing that you could think about, because it's been through my mind. Oh God, you want me to forgive this person, but how are you forgiving this person that's did this? But God forgave me. God forgave me. I mean, God forgave me. Like I tell you, it's difficult walking every day knowing that somebody lost their life because of my ill decision. But he still found it in his heart to forgive me. So who am I not to forgive those people that might have hurt me? Who are you not to forgive yourself? And there's a God that not only forgave you, but doesn't even remember what you've done. So I told you guys this video is going to help me more than it's going to help you, because I'm letting go, man. I'm letting go. Can't nothing hold me back. Only thing that can hold me back is if I hold myself back. Can't nothing hold me back unless I'm holding on to it. My past, it's my past. You can't talk about it unless I help you talk about it. Don't let people hold you back from your destiny. And that's what I'm doing. And for anybody that tells you that you don't need a core group of people beside you, man, you do. Because my family, my mom, my sisters, my brothers, they've been by my side more than I've been by theirs. And all I can say is, for me, is that God put good people in my heart. So my story to you is this, man. Hope, faith, prayer, work. You can hope for anything you want and have faith for it. Prayer is free. Anybody can pray for you. Pray for yourself. But if you don't put that work in, you're not going to get it. You could pray and hope and faith to win a lottery. Unless you go out there and buy a ticket, you're not going to win it. You can hope and pray and have faith that you're going to get up off of a breakup that you're going through. But if you don't take that first step to start working on yourself instead of laying on that bed, it's not going to go nowhere. So my hope, my prayer, and my faith was to come home and be a different person and stay in this walk. And this is me putting in that work. I've been a promoter for a long time, and I enjoyed it, and I met some great people. But I always held back from what I wanted to do, and this is what it is. So I made it through my storm, but I ain't make it through my sunny days yet. But y'all gonna be with me when I make it. So I'll see y'all soon. I had to clean up a little bit for this last part. I told you guys when I started this video, by the end of this video, I'll tell you what my purpose is. First and foremost, I want to give credit to God, because he's the one that put me through everything. He's the one that gave me the grace, the strength, and the mercy to be where I'm at right now. It's a new purpose in my life. And I'm not imposing that on you. But what I'm imposing on you is never give up hope. If you ain't got nobody to talk to, I mean it genuinely, man, call me or inbox me. I'm here to tell you that no matter what happens in your life, as long as you don't give up hope, tomorrow's a better day. And I know it's a cliche things of saying, and there's a lot of things that we're going through, man, but stay prayed up. Stay true to yourself, stay humble, and understand that everything over time will pass. I feel as though I've earned the right to say that. I feel as though I've earned the right stamp to say that because of everything that I've been through. Let my test be a testimony to you guys. Let my message make me a messenger to everybody else on hope, faith, prayer, work. So look, I took my labels off. Everything that people label me, Everything that I've done in the past, I took them off, everything, because I had to walk into a new light. That's a choice that I decided to make. And the second part was, this video was released on April 15th, which is my birthday. And it's a gift to myself to let me know that I'm on the final steps of my journey. That I've let the hold of social media and let the hold of public perception or what's about to be written in the inboxes hold me back from giving praise to what needs to be given praise to and giving thanks to everybody that's been beside me. So look, man, lively yourself up, man. It's easier said than done. It's easy to think negative, man. It's harder to stay positive. But do it. That's the best thing I'm gonna tell you. Never give up hope. If you're ever thinking about taking your life, man, don't do a lifetime solution for a momentary problem. If it's the guy that broke your heart, you're gonna get over him. If it's the girl that walked away from you, you're gonna get over her. If your child passed away, you're always gonna feel that pain. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it gets over better with time. Or whatever sentence you got and you're doing time and you ever get a chance to see this message, man, all I can say is I'm gonna keep you in my prayers and know your time is coming home. For you to come home, it's gonna be close. But at the end of the day, you gotta give praise to God. You gotta give credit to God. You ain't got faith, you ain't got hope, you don't believe in that, man, I don't know what's working for you. Luck runs out eventually. God's mercy and God's faith never runs out. And I'm standing here telling you that. So, I want y'all to wish me a happy birthday. I'm happy for being here and being able to do it and walking in this new path. But I want to say thank you to a few people, and I'm going to try to say thank you to these people without getting emotional. Mark King, my brother, I love you. Thank you for everything. Stanley Walker, thank you for everything. My whole Northwest Park brothers, thank you for everything. Everything that I've been through this past year and 4 months. You guys have been every step of the way with me. My cousin Dawid Kiflu, Gabriel, my whole entire family, my cousin Mesfin, my uncle Takesta, and there's a lot of people that I can't mention because there's 3 specific people that I want to say thank you to as well. I want to say thank you to people in my community that came out to support me, friends that came to visit me. I want to say thank you to people that gave me encouragement, to inmates that I didn't know from nowhere, Bebo, New York, there's so many of y'all. But to my mom, you are an amazing woman, and I thank God every day for your strength. Because I wouldn't be on these streets right now if it wasn't for your prayer and your support. To my sister, Miriam, boy, I tell you, I don't know whether to call her a brother or sister sometime, but Miri, I love you. Thank you for everything you did. Thank you for holding me down. Thank you for your words of encouragement, even when I was on the phone going off on you. To Elsie, I don't know whether to call you an older sister or a second mother, but I appreciate you and thank you. Thank you for your strong words. Thank you for always being there for me. And everything that you've done for me, I appreciate it. My daughter, Simone, you my ace. I got to throw up the sign for you, Moni. You are an amazing woman, and growing up with you, I can't even consider being a great dad when it comes to you, because I'm thankful for God for the discipline and the principles that He's put in you. Everything I'm not, and that's what I aspire to be. My son Aman, I want to say thank you to Gannet, which is the mother of my son. She held him down. She did a great job, especially through this Corona time. It's hard being a single mother. It's hard. You know, I think a lot of you guys can relate to that, waking them up and distant learning. To my cousin Mesfin, thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for being by my side. Thank you for listening to me vent. Thank you for just being in my life, brother. You know, I appreciate you. And just to everybody for having mentioned you. To Tion, my cousin, did a great job with my daughter's 21st birthday. And I know I'm forgetting people, but for whoever I'm forgetting, I just want to say thank you. But most of all, I thank God. Psalms 23 said, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil. And from this point on, I made it my business that fear is not in my life. Fear is not something that's instilled in me or anybody else. That's something we learn over time. So in true solo fashion, let's take this walk together, man. Don't never lose hope. My formula for this success, my formula for where I'm about to be, my formula to getting up: faith, prayer, hope, work. You can have faith, you can have prayer, you can have hope. Those are free. But you got to put that work in yourself. You got to step. Thank you.